What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and today I'm going to be discussing the sequel to yesterday's film, 1985's The Ewoks, The Battle for Endor, starring Warwick Davis, Aubree Miller, Wilford Brimley, Carel Struycken, Sian Phillips, Tony Cox, and Eric Walker. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And today is going to be another special one because, like yesterday's Caravan of Courage, this is the sequel to that film, The Ewoks, The Battle for Endor, another made-for-TV film released 1 year after the Caravan of Courage. And again, man, this was the only other expansion of the Star Wars saga for 14 years until we got the prequel trilogy. For all we knew, this was going to be it for Star Wars. And the 3 films in the trilogy, these 2 films, and the holiday special were all that were ever going to exist. Obviously, things changed. We expanded the Skywalker saga with the prequel trilogy, and then again years later with the sequel trilogy. But as a young kid, 9 years old when this came out, probably 10 by the time I saw it for the first time, this was all we were going to know, or we thought we were going to know. And it was exciting. Maybe I look at these films a little too fondly because of having grown up with them. And a new viewer watching these today in 2021 may not be all that impressed with them. Subjective, man. Just like me and Jeff always say, let's get down to it here, shall we? It has been 6 months since the success of the Caravan, and the Tawani Star Cruiser is almost completely repaired. Sindel and Wicket are playing in the woods on the forest moon of Endor when a group of marauders storm the village, led by Tarek and the sorceress Sherelle. They capture some of the Ewoks, as well as young Sindel, and kill Jeremit, Katerin, and Mace. Wicket and Sindel escape out of a hole in the floor of the transport and run away as some of the marauders chase them in hot pursuit. Wicket and Sindel find a cave that they hide in order to evade the marauders. But inside of the cave, they find a pterodactyl type of monster which grabs Sindel and begins to fly away with her. Wicket finds a glider and chases after Sindel and the monster. The monster drops Sindel, but Wicket is able to swoop in and save her. They land back on the surface of Endor, and they begin their journey back home. They find a place to sleep for the night, and in the morning, they encounter Teak, an Endor native who is abnormally fast. They ask Teak if they know somewhere where they can get some food, and Teak brings Wicket and Sindel to a house he knows of in order to get some nourishment. But the owner of the house catches them and kicks them out. Sindel and Wicket then decide to settle down for the night, not far from the house, and build a fire. But the homeowner comes out and yells at them. What are you trying to do? You trying to burn down the forest? The only place for a fire is in a fireplace. So he goes ahead and he brings them back to the house for the night so that they can warm up and get some rest. Tells them, the next day you've got to go. That night, Sindel asks the man what his name is, and he tells her that it's Noah. That night, Sindel has a nightmare about being attacked by marauders, and Noah, startled by Sindel's screams, jumps out of his bed to comfort her. The next day, at the marauders' castle, Tarek orders Carel to use the power that they stole from the Star Cruiser in order to try and find Sindel. Back at the house, Noah is starting to become kind of fond of Sindel and Wicket. He orders them to complete some chores in order to kind of earn their keep at the house. But they decide to follow him instead of doing their chores like they're supposed to. When they find where Noah went, they discover a star cruiser that he is repairing. And they learn that he crash landed on Endor during his very first mission. And over time, Noah has almost completely restored the ship. All he needs is a power supply. That evening, Noah and Sindel bond a little bit more, with Sindel teaching Noah a song that her mother used to sing to her. The following morning, Sindel is awoken by a female voice singing that exact same song. She follows the voice to find a beautiful woman near a lake. And as Sindel talks to the woman transforms into Carel. Wicket discovers that Sindel is missing and wakes Noah up. And Wicket and Noah follow the voice, but Carel takes off on horseback with Sindel before Noah and Wicket can reach her. Carel brings Sindel to Tarek, who tries to force her to make the power work. You see, this power that they have is just like a battery that basically powers the Star Cruiser. But they think that it's this great weapon. So them not fully understanding it are trying to get Sindel and whoever else that appears to be human to make this work so they can use it for their own gain. And Sindel doesn't know how to make it work. Again, she's only 4 or 5 years old. She doesn't know how this thing works. So Tarek throws Carel and Sindel into cells in the castle dungeon. Noah, Wicket, and Teak all arrive at the castle to try and save Sindel. And the trio scale the castle wall and begin to try to find Sindel to rescue her. They rescue Sindel and the other Ewoks that had been captured from the village in the beginning of the film, and they begin their exit. The group is able to escape, and Noah grabs the power supply, because what does he need for his starship to work? Power supply. Tarek sends Carel after them to find Noah's spaceship. So she transforms into a bird and tracks them from above. The Ewoks, Noah, Teak, and Sindel get to Noah's ship and attempt to use the power supply to make it work. The Ewoks are able to hold off the Marauders as they follow and attack, trying to regain the power themselves. Tarek then shows up and captures Sindel, and he tells Wicket to go get Noah and trade Sindel for the power. Noah arrives at the scene and tells Tarek to let Sindel go, and then they will fight for the power. Tarek and Noah duel, and Wicket throws a ring at Tarek. Tarek catches it, and the ring ends up killing him. Noah puts the power back into the spaceship, and him and Sindel say goodbye to Teak and the Ewoks. And our film concludes with them firing up the spaceship engines and leaving the forest moon of Endor. Once again, man, I know I said this at the beginning, I said this yesterday. You have to look at these movies as products of their time. And at the time, we thought this was going to be the end of what we knew of the Star Wars saga. 3 movies, 2 made-for-TV movies, the holiday special, and then as a result of the success of the first film, as well as this film, There was an Ewoks animated series and a Droids animated series. But that was it. So it could be said that these movies either completely killed the franchise or they helped further expand it. Subjective. It's up to you how you want to look at it. But I tend to look at it from the glass where this helped expand the Star Wars universe, telling more stories with characters that we were introduced to in Return of the Jedi, and giving us just a little bit something more in the greater Star Wars saga. I greatly enjoyed these films when I was younger. I tend to enjoy Caravan of Courage just a little bit more than the Battle for Endor. Teak is incredibly annoying to me. Like, everyone talks about Jar Jar and his level of annoying. To me, Teak is worse. Teak is 100% worse in my opinion. That's just my feelings on the matter. Those of you that have seen the Ewoks Battle for Endor, what do you guys think? Let me know if you're watching the live stream. Leave your comments over here. If you're watching on demand, leave your thoughts down here. If you've never seen it, once again, much like I pointed out yesterday, go to Disney Plus and they are in the Star Wars Vintage Hub. You can watch both Ewok movies, the Ewoks animated series, and the animated short that introduced the world to Boba Fett from the Star Wars Holiday Special. All of those are on Disney Plus. And it's all thanks to Eric Walker, who played Mace in both films, who got the petition going. Disney noticed it, acknowledged it, and created the Vintage Star Wars Hub on Disney Plus for all of this content. Aside from the full-length holiday special, which I doubt we'll ever get, the only other thing they could really add to it now would be the Droids animated series, which I'm surprised isn't there yet. But maybe in time, since they added all this Ewok content to it, maybe they'll add that as well. Who knows? When it comes to my official rating for the Battle for Endor, like I said, I like Caravan of Courage a little bit better. Still enjoy this. So it gets 3.5 out of 5 stars from me. I wish that they had the Tawani family last a little bit longer. You know, everybody but Sindel is killed within like the first 10 minutes of the film. And I think that kind of sucks. That's the only thing I probably would have changed about this. And then Teak. Like I said, let me see a celebrity death match with Jar Jar versus Teak and see who wins. Teak definitely has the speed, but I think Jar Jar, being a general in the Gungan army, would probably be able to defeat Teak. What do you guys think? Let me know. I know that's a silly question, but let me know. Who do you think is more annoying, Jar Jar Binks and Teak? And don't just say Jar Jar because you've never seen this. I highly implore you to watch this before you make a judgment. So let me know either over here if you're watching the live stream or down here if you're watching on demand. Let's make sure we get out there on the social media. Try to get those hashtags trending. Hashtag Casa D18 Studios, hashtag Renegades Reviews, hashtag Renegade Returns, and of course the ever popular hashtag Shenanigans. We interrupt this episode of Renegades Reviews for an important announcement about
merchandising.
Merchandising? What's that?
Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Merchandising, merchandising, where the real money's made.
Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network For all the t-shirts you see here from the West Coast professor, Jeff Meacham himself, you can get shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network, Talk Wrestling, as well as the red and gold Meachamania shirts. And while you're there, don't forget to get your shirts of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood, the Dads on Wrestling shirt, the Renegade JJ Williams, Statboy Sports Bar, and the hashtag StatBoyApproved shirt. Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network and score your shirts today. Make sure you do what that commercial just told you. Get out there, go to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all your official merchandise of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood. Get you your Renegade JJ Williams shirt, Statboy Sports Bar, Dad's Not Always on Wrestling, hashtag Shenanigans, hashtag StatBoyApproved. Get you your official merchandise of the Jeff Meacham Network, 3 different designs of the Jeff Meacham Network logo to choose from on a shirt, plus Meachamania, Talk Wrestling, and so much more. Tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, make sure you tune in for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews when I cover the final chapter in the original Star Wars trilogy, 1983's Return of the Jedi, starring Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Billy D. Williams, Anthony Daniels, Kenny Baker, Peter Mayhew, Ian McDermott, Frank Oz, David Prowse, James Earl Jones, Sebastian Shaw, Hayden Christensen, Alec Guinness, Warwick Davis, and Jeremy Bullock. What a cast list. Yes, I have the special editions at my disposal, so I have the version with Hayden Christensen appearing as Anakin's Force Ghost at the end. One of the few changes that I'm not upset about, and I'll get more into that tomorrow when I discuss Return of the Jedi. Thank you to each and every one of my loyal fans who's been watching this live, the premiere, the live stream, leaving your comments over here. Thank you to each and every one of my fans watching it on demand, leaving your comments and thoughts down here. I appreciate each and every one of my loyal viewers that tune in every single day and enjoy my reviews that I put up. Thank you all for watching. I will see you guys next time, and may the Force be with you.